Hey YouTube, what's going on? Well, looks like Subie Savers Part 3. You guys saw from the last video, she's rotted. It is what it is. There's nothing much you guys can do about it. Probably yours is too, and you don't even know about it. Go back, pull that interior, and yeah, get them gutted. Get all them seats out. Get that carpet out. Make sure that your baby isn't dying, because that's basically where that car is now. It's dead. Can't be driven anymore. It's absolutely structurally unsafe. Can't do it anymore. So it's actually so bad that you know where the struts mount in the back, where the top mounting plates are, the 3 bolts for the struts? Well, the actual 2 front towards the front section of the car, they're still tight, but that one last one on each side is actually floating above the actual strut mount itself. The reason for that is the entire tub and wheel assembly area is crushing and rotting and lowering itself away from the actual mating, and yeah, so with that said, very, very unsafe. Gonna have to do some structural work. So I'm gonna get the interior out of here today, and I bring all the interior home, guys. That all gets stored in my basement. I don't like the accumulation of the body shop smell or oil smell. I don't want to smell your shop in my car. So why would I do that to you? So with that said, Subie Savers Part 3, let's start this. Alright, well, I'm at the latest you pull it yard right down the road from my house, and we're going to see if we can save this Subaru. Obviously, we're way past the whole Subie Saver panel job. We're into basically a restoration now. So I'm going to look for some wheel wells, see if I can possibly cut out of another car and replace into the one at the shop. And I went ahead and I cut away this one, and as you can see, same exact thing. So look behind me. Exactly the same thing I cut away. It's all rotted. I was able to punch my knife through it. So yeah, guys, like I said, you know, there's a really good chance that your car is rotted and you don't even know it. This is the reason why. It's from the factory. All this stuff is like a sponge. It's very spongy, and it absorbs water, and that's all it does, and it just holds it there up against your steel that literally, as you can see, it's unprotected. It's just yeah, it's a shame. It is what it is. So on to finding one that hopefully is clean and we can save another Subie. So literally this Subie Saver turned into a Subie Saver.
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams.
Alright, well, back to the drawing board. So first things first is got to get to all of the sound deadening. Sound deadening is that crap right there. It actually holds water and any kind of accumulation from the ground up. You can see where, see these black tar-like substances is? This is actually where everything sits down and it's tearing through this. This is just a butyl tape is actually what it is. Butyl is the black-like, tar-like substance. That's actually what that compound is actually called. So when you guys see the sound deadening tape, it's just butyl is basically what it is. That's actually what they put the OEM taillights in with. They seal them up. So long story short, it is pretty relatively waterproof, good stuff as far as you use like high quality. But when it comes to the OEM quality, it actually over time turns really hard and rigid, and it'll flake away, and it allows a lot of the mating surface to actually come up and off of the clean steel, allows all of the water to get in. And you wonder how the water gets in. Well, from your feet, tracking it in from the seats and whatnot, or not seats, but from your shoes. And then you can see these holes here. These usually have a metal cap that goes over them. It sits on there. They use a seam sealer that goes around it, and then that's how they pushed them down to glue them, and then they went over them with the sound deadening. As you can see, they've actually completely rotted away. They no longer exist, so I'm going to have to make some round caps after I get this all sandblasted. But first things first is what you guys got to do. You guys got to get in here and clean all this up, because it will just get worse and worse. That's why we call it cancer. It is like a disease. Once it starts, it will attack it until it dies. Alright, got the other side all scraped out. It's ready to go. So after that, actually real quick, you guys can see these are the plates. It's still kind of there. It's really, obviously it's decaying, and you can see one here. We'll push through it with the metal. But with that said, we'll have to make those, and then you can still sort of see the seam sealer ring that was mashed down and around to seal it. We will redo that, and then go over it with, obviously, spray on bed liner, because that's what I like to specialize in. It seals it, and it's highly, highly non-abrasive. So you can basically take whatever you want to it, and it's not going to gouge it up. So with that said, next phase right now is taking out the harness. You're going to have to take out the front harness for the airbags. It actually unplugs here. Here's your airbag module. 3 plugs here. Runs all the way across as well. There's a Phillips head screw here. Holds this plastic plate. And then, there's some plastic plugs. They just pop into these little holes here. You just take those out with an upholstery tool. And if you don't have those, you can use 1 or 2 flathead screwdrivers on each side, and probably just wedge it right out of the hole, no problem, without breaking it. You kind of want to save them, because you want them to pop back in, after. So with that said, take your time. This is going to go ahead and wrap around. It's going to plug in here, and then the other plug, the other male half, is actually going to run to the back half, and that is actually your tail light harness. That's actually going to feed your tail lights and your brake lights, reverse lights, and everything. So that's also going to have to be removed. So right now, that's what you got to do. Take all that out. So as you're taking this harness out, you're going to want to unclip it, and then you can see my little pieces of tape. This is going to help you later on when then this is just basically a big bunch of wire sitting over in the corner or up on the shelf. You're going to want to be able to come into this, throw it in the exact same spot that it's supposed to go so that the job goes faster. Doing this, you add yourself little footnotes and tags saying exactly what that plug goes to. It just takes 2 seconds. You don't have to do all of the plugs, but as you can see, I didn't do them all. You just need to tag it and let you know that this is the middle pillar portion. So I know I put this tag here when I put this all out. I can lay it all out. I know exactly what side goes to what, because this is actually a horseshoe harness that actually comes down and it goes all the way around. So once you take this off, it'll all come off and it all unplugs over here, like I said earlier. So again, to really help yourself as well, you're going to want to put everything labeled. So if you take it off, let's say later on down the road, because a lot of times, guys, you're probably not going to move as fast as me. I'm trying to get this job done as fast as possible, and there are a lot of viewers out there that are going to do this on their spare time. So because of that, blow that off so you can see. This is the driver's side rear bracket. It's got the hardware taped right to it, and this way I can just come right in. I know exactly right where that goes. I know I can come right in on the driver's side. It's going right on the rear. So driver's side rear bracket for the seat, and I know that that goes right there. hardware is already taped right to it, I can go right to it, and it's really quick this way. And literally, it only took me a couple seconds, not even, you know, to do this. It goes right in the bag. I know that this whole bag right here is going to be just this driver's side. So it makes it a lot easier to go, okay, what side's the driver's side? Oh, I see a bunch of tags that say driver on them. I pick up the bag, I come over here, and I'm ready to go for assembly. That's how that's done, guys, on a production basis. Alright, so now after you got that harness out and it's all taped off and you got it over off to the side basically and out of your way, you'll have all this cleared out and all this space in here. Alright, so now I can get in here, I can clean all this up and whatnot, and you can see the door is actually unhooked now because that harness actually was fed up in through here, and then this harness will actually feed through the outside. It's got the rubber here. Sorry with the camera. But it's got the rubber here, and that snaps in through, feeds through, and that will plug in here on the back side. So you'll just basically pull that through this pillar here and just start taking off the door check. This is right here. This is the door check. This is what keeps it open when you open it up and whatnot. It has that little notch in here. So, you know, it's got the 2 levels. You can see there's stuck, and then there's one right there. But yeah, zip that out. Zip the actual hinges off themselves here, and then pull the doors off. Next step. Alright guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it there. You guys can see doors got to come off, harness has got to come out, and then everything is out of the way. Once everything is out of the way, we're able to do some rust repair. So obviously, on to the next chapter. Subie Savers. Have a good one. I'm Bill Schneider. This is Rumble Garage. I work on only cars with the stars.